Hello my gorgeous Scorpio, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your weekly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you my gorgeous Scorpioni, and it's in between the 15th and the 21st of August 2022. My Scorpio, my gorgeous Scorpioni, now it's time. It is time for you to share your knowledge. It is time for you to share what you know, especially from the beginning of this week. This in itself is going to help you to grow so much and learn something so specific about yourself, about your own magic. But it's at the same time, this, by you sharing the knowledge, also you need to understand that you are at the same time putting a goodness out that is going to return to you in abundance, okay, within the next 7 weeks after that moment in time. So when I say that it's time to share your knowledge, when I say that it's time to share what you know, this is going to reflect on so many different aspects of your life. And also, you know, it is kind of like at the beginning of the week is bringing you an obstacle as well. And the reason why you're gonna have an obstacle at the beginning of the week is purely because you know, on your mind it's going to be a lot like within these particular lines, like, oh, law is not a justice, okay, rules that are not fair. This is going to be on your mind quite a lot, but also at the same time you are going to be kind of become awake sorry you are going to become awake to actual unknown dangers, and that in itself it's going to require from you to kind of really think about your past. And by thinking about your past, you are going to have the necessary insight that you need at this moment in time. At the same time, you know, what you need to understand and what you need to remember, you know, to actually to pay attention to the details and wait for perfect timing. And when I say that you need to pay attention to details and wait for perfect timing, you know, it's to do with that particular obstacle that I've mentioned. So the obstacle that I've mentioned is going to make you aware of an unknown dangers, and then you're going to feel very strong connection with your past, and this is where your answer is going to be. But you just at the same time you need to pay attention to the actual details. As soon as you're taken back into your past, you know, that can happen while you're meditating, that can just come to you out of the blue, that can happen while you're dreaming, that can happen the first thing when you wake up in the morning. There are so many different ways the way spirit is actually going to communicate to us, or the way spirits communicate to us. It depends also where you are at your spiritual journey at this moment in time. But the bottom line is to actually when you are kind of taken back to your past, you will be kind of reminded of the certain situations, of the certain people as well. But within that moment, within this time, you need to pay attention to the actual details. When you're thinking, just try to pay attention to the actual details. And also, this in itself is going to reveal something to you, and that revelation is all going to be about you understanding at the same time, you know, to actually wait for the perfect timing. Okay, so this is very important for you to understand. And also, you know, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you know, please, you know, there is some kind of secret temptation that is going to be around you, some kind of secret temptation. Please, this is like the part of the challenge. It's going to be almost like, my lord, very difficult for you to kind of avoid or for you to ignore this like kind of secret temptation, but please try to ignore this, because at this moment in time this is a huge, massive, enormous, giant, big mama task. Because if you do kind of go with this secret temptation, at the same time you are going to be led astray from the things that you should be focusing on right now. Okay, this is important, because if you follow this secret temptation, you're going to be led astray, and you are going to waste your precious energy, because the energy is going to be really precious for you and very special, very different and very unique throughout this week. And I mean this because that in itself, it's only going to help you with like conveying your own message, but also like manipulating your own energy in order to make the most of it. So please don't waste this energy. So the part of this challenge that you are going to have at the beginning of the week, and this is going to be a big mama, as soon as you become aware of this secret temptation, please do not be led astray. And I know it's easy for me to say, and things like that, but this time, this is in itself a part of the huge giant task. Okay, so as soon as you become aware of this secret temptation, and almost like parts of you are going to be like, oh God, I can't not to kind of like pay attention to this, blah blah blah. No baby, no, because your energy will go towards somewhere where you're not going to be able to have it return quite soon after that. So this is why you need to understand to stay committed to the actual current tasks that you are having at hand. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, you are really, to start with, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you're gonna have again like a really unusual and bizarre, very strange encounter. And that encounter, it's also going to make you aware of exactly who the devil is and where the devil is. And this in itself, it's going to work in your favor, because you will know that there are certain steps that you're gonna need to change about your life in terms of the actual adjustment. Okay, but on another hand, what you need to remember at the midweek, to basically observe your limitations as much as you can, because you're gonna be facing a challenging situation, and that challenging situation that you're gonna be facing at around the midweek, all you need to do is defend and protect your position and stand your ground. This is very important, because at the same time you're going to be facing some horrible person, and that horrible person is going to be very draining, like in terms of their energy, very dark in terms of their dark and energy, which is going to be completely off anyway in itself. So you will know exactly who are you actually dealing with. And what you need to remember and understand, that you are going to be challenged, and almost like that someone is going to try to take you for a mug or something like that. Someone is almost going to try to kind of like make you look a little bit silly, and you will know this completely, because at the same time it's all about you responding to the situation where you are gonna really become aware. This is gonna be good for you being challenged, because once you're challenged, you will understand. You just need to be honest with yourself to respond to this. Something ridiculous is gonna be required from you at the same time, almost like as if someone is gonna ask you something, and you're gonna think like, do they think that I'm really stupid? Do they think that I'm really silly? Do they think that I haven't got a brain? Do they think that I can't think for myself? Do you know what I mean? So all you need to do is just basically stand your ground. You will see it's all about your spirit, baby, and the actual common sense. Okay, but sometimes in this life we come across people that are completely difficult. They're so too far gone that we just have to find a certain level with them, which we in which way we're going to be able to kind of find some kind of common ground. But that's just in terms of like communication, let alone feelings and everything else. It's impossible to find a common ground with certain people in your life, and these are the people that I'm talking about. And you are the one who is the clever one, and you are the one who is controlling situation who is going to control situation in your favor by rising above it in every single way. But you must not, above all costs, allow people to make you look silly, to make you look stupid. Not stupid, but to make you look silly. I know, I'm sorry if I'm being like, oh my God, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to explain this to you. So when you feel challenged by something being imposed to you that absolutely doesn't make sense, that it's so silly and bizarre and it's getting weirder and weirder, just remember to defend and protect your position. By doing this, you need to stand your ground and just follow your voice within. It's all to do with the common sense at the end of the day, but most importantly, within the next couple of days after that moment in time, you are going to become aware of the illusion of entrapment, and that illusion of entrapment within the last 8 to 9 months, was really affecting your confidence. And and that was making you helpless quite a lot of time, and it was also making you to be afraid of taking the action. So now, my goodness, this is going to work so remarkably for you, because something is going to be born within, something is going to begin, something is going to start. And I like it, because I'm already like, oh my God, a giant, amazing, miraculous lotus moment yet again, baby, so it's all about you making the most of it here. What you're going to realize here, it's also at the same time going to give you control back to your life, which is going to give you strength, courage, energy, determination, and confidence. And that in itself, it's all boiling down that you are finally getting control over your life, that was affecting you in such a way where on one hand you had a lack of strength in general, but then on another hand, almost immediately this is going to be connected to the idea, very interesting idea that you are going to have, because you're going to feel different, you're going to feel like, spiritually free. So that in itself is bringing this healing and miraculous balance, which is just inspires you. And the next step of the actual inspiration, it's a vision, it's an idea, and this is where you're going to have an idea, and then this idea that you're going to have, almost immediately it's going to be followed with a vision. Okay, so it's first of all an idea you're gonna have, and then, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you're going to have a vision, and then that vision that you're going to have, look at this, my goodness, that vision that you're going to have, what you're gonna feel, that vision in itself, it will show you what exactly do you need to do. You're gonna feel it in a completely different way, but that vision in itself, it's going to be like a conclusion, a massive conclusion that some absolutely very, very annoying, unusual, bizarre and strange and weird part of your life, mysterious part of your life in a weird way, it's slowly coming to an end. It's to do with the conclusion, but it's also to do with an absolutely mind-blowing compromise that you are going to have soon after that. That mind-blowing compromise that you are going to have at around the end of the week, it's also going to be primarily kind of connected to your own development, and you are expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself. You're living your life the way you want to live your life, but also at the same time, when it comes to the end of the week, please, I know it's going to sound like stupid again, but it's about like feeling very strong anger against someone. Please, you need to allow this to go. You need to cut this out. You need to cut these cords with this negative energy. You're still holding like kind of grudges against someone who did something really bad to you. Not that, it could be long time ago, but it could be like maybe not that long ago, but someone from your past who actually did something to you really bad. You need to let that person go. I know it's again easy for me to say, like how I always say this, but this is the part of your integral spiritual journey. So now it's time to cut the cords and let this go, because the sooner you do this, the sooner you're gonna bring the success into your life. Things that you want to achieve are gonna start flowing much quicker, much sooner, much more freely towards your destination in life. And also, when it comes to the last part of this week, just remember that you need to kind of you are going to illuminate the shadow, and once you illuminate the shadow, you are going to focus on a solution. And why am I saying that you are going to illuminate the shadow? Because something very kind of negative and dark is going to be on your mind, something that you were thinking about it so much, and something that was preventing you from making a necessary step when it comes to the future planning. Something was making you feel really dark and negative. So now this is going to help you to reconnect yourself with yourself in terms of the actual investigation. You will know what do you need to look closely. You will know exactly which questions do you need to ask, but also at the same time you will know in the future when do you kind of need to think before actually acting. At the same time, the last part of this week, my gorgeous Scorpioni, it's bringing you absolutely, I can say it like this. The last part of this week, it's time, my gorgeous Scorpioni, it's time again. But what is it time now? It's time to make a choice. Just remember this. You're gonna like being contemplating like a big mama. Contemplation. You will know what contemplation I'm talking about here. Even the little kitty knows which contemplation. You will know which contemplation I'm talking about here. So it's time to make a choice. place. You have to, my gorgeous Scorpione, stop over analyzing whatsoever, because that in itself is bringing you clarity as well, especially on what you desire. And it's going to bring you clarity exactly what you need to do in order to move forward. And also when you become aware of kind of like a very unusual news on the outside that you're not going to be surprised about at all, and the news on the outside will be nothing to do with your life. It's like to do with a breaking news type of thing, but nothing to do with your life, but it's to do with things that have been affecting you for so long, but no more, baby, because now you're spiritually free and now you're spiritually coming out of it. So that in itself, it's also only going to bring you even more of like a fresh inspiration and enthusiasm into your life. It's going to bring this feeling of exploration, but also at the same time it's about a new direction. And that in itself, it's like basically going to require a strategy from you, but at the same time it's going to, because you're going to have this inner strength, you know, you are going to realize you will be able to go so much deeper, so much further when it comes to your mind, especially when it comes to being psychic, being very intuitive. So you will feel something that you haven't felt in a really long time on such a deep level. You will know that you're approaching the end of the problem, and that in itself is going to kind of bring a rather unexpected event to your life at the end of the week. And the unexpected event that you are going to have, my gorgeous Scorpione, at the end of the week, it's going to, look at this, an unexpected situation. This is going to be a really weird one. This is going to be a really strange one. And this unexpected situation, it's also going to be connected to your, like people who are very close to you. It's going to be connected to your lifestyle in general. It's going to be connected to people who mean to you so much, but it's also going to be connected to your wishes as well. And it's also, my goodness, you see this, it's going to start the process, you know, something is going to really inspire you so much. You needed this, because it's bringing this like a harmony, it's bringing you this peace and tranquility, it's bringing a healing energy to, and this healing energy is going to be also primarily responsible for you really kind of being so inspired. But it's not only about being so inspired, but it's also realizing that you've already made the first moves. You don't even need to make the first moves, you know. And this is when things are going to take like a really magical and interesting turn, because all this preparation already happened. You don't need to begin something that you've already started. So this in itself, it's about to show you the whole new passion in your life, which is about to take over. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpione, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.